Hey, Jiggly-Gut here, and welcome back to Broken Sword, the Smoking Mirror Remastered Edition. The last episode, we finally got out of Quaramonte after George had been arrested for snooping about, thanks in part to the Hendersons, who went and performed a jailbreak. We then escaped on boat, which was attacked during the night and blown up by the general and his men, and found ourselves here in the jungle. After snooping around, we found that Nico was sick and we needed to get ourselves a route, and ended up at the village of the tribe of Tidy Whiteys. And they had a story for us regarding two other Mayan stones, which we now have to track down. And without further ado, let us continue on.
The snake bite had affected Nico badly. Nico, I've brought you this root. No way was she going to be able to chew the root. I needed to give her the antidote in a more digestible form. I wondered what Hubert had used to make his candles. It was Father Hubert's personal altar. I didn't have any use for Hubert's candles. The shaman thinks you should go visit your kids.
So, he told you?
Look, Hubert, having an extended family is nothing to be ashamed of. If I was you, I'd be ashamed of not being there for them.
It was that damned monkey dance that led me astray.
Yeah. A sight like that must be difficult to forget. I've got the root, Hubert.
So what are you waiting for? Give it to the gal.
I've tried, but she won't take it.
Oh, you fool, George. You'll have to extract the sap so that you can drink it.
Right.
Which is exactly what we'll do right now. I just wanted to make some small talk with him. So we want to get our cone out to collect the sap. And then we'll grind it using these stones.
The cone was ideal as a makeshift container.
There we are. Lovely. Okay, let's pick up this cross and get to grinding. Easy does it.
As the liquid was squeezed from the root, it collected in the cone.
I don't know, it kind of looked like a drip behind the cone to me, but I'm not one to argue. Let's grab it and deliver it to Nico.
Look, Hubert, the antidote.
Well, what are you waiting for? Give it to the girl, quickly.
It's amazing how the cone changed shape.
Nico. Here, drink this.
Oh, George, it's horrible.
Just swallow it down. Okay, try and rest now, darling. You'll need all your strength when we go after the other two stones.
Other stones? What other stones? What have you gotten me into now, Josh Stobart?
Well, the patient is sounding more like her old self already. Nico recovered quickly from her fever. To save time, we decided to split up and look for each stone independently. I traced the pirate Ketch to a remote island in the Caribbean. With the fortune he'd amassed from piracy, he'd retired to a place that was later called Ketch's Landing.
Ah, Ketch's Landing. Yes. When I first played the game, when was that, like... forget when it was. Back in '99, I think, when I first played it. I played the PlayStation version. Sort of got lost on Ketch's Landing. I have since finished the game, but yeah. Back when I was younger, this area was the furthest I could get.
It was a net left to dry in the sunshine. I didn't want a fishing net.
Of course you don't want a fishing net. Who wants a fishing net? There's a fisherman on the pier here, though. So we'll start by talking to them.
The kid looked about 11 or 12. He was fishing with the intense concentration of someone who had all the time in the world. Hi, is this Ketch's Landing?
Yeah, man. You want to buy some fish?
Nah, I don't like fish. What's your name?
Rio. It means river. What about you?
George. It means, well, it's just a name.
You pelican.
Do you know anything about a forthcoming eclipse?
No, but that explains why the weather's about to get real bad.
Rio, it's a beautiful day. There's no more than a whisker of cloud in the sky.
Trust me, man, it's going to get real bad.
Do you know anything about pirate treasure?
Man, that's all stories. There's no such thing as a real pirate treasure.
Really?
No school today?
No, sir.
What about your education?
I can fish, sail, and swim. I've been looking after myself since I was 6, and I'm bilingual.
Aren't you a little overqualified for a beach bum?
Well, you know, there's a lot of competition.
Good for you, Rio.
Is it true that Captain Ketch lived around here?
That's right. That's his house up on the hill. It's a museum now.
Yeah? That's exactly what I need. Thanks, kid.
You won't get inside, you know. The old ladies close it down.
Old ladies?
Who are these old ladies you mentioned?
Miss Frost and Miss Mina Ketch.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing.
The guy with the theodolite?
Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. They're going to regret it, you know. The man's a crook.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about Captain Ketch?
Just what everybody knows around here. He was a pirate and get himself hung.
That seems to be the lot in life for pirates. Okay, let's go and talk to Mr. Fancy Pants. Okay, so he's got this tripod set up. Or the theodolite, which we can look through when he's got his back turned. He's got a little reflector set up on the flagpole up there.
It looked like a set of plans. I just had to sneak a look at those plans.
Of course, not while he's
Hey,
looking at it.
get out of there.
You know, wherever I go, I hear those words. Paris, Syria, Ireland, or Spain. Makes no difference.
What do you think you're doing?
I was trying to show some interest in your project.
So, talk to us, Fancy Pants. Another
My
douchebag
name's
with a
George
ponytail.
Stobart. You're a surveyor, right? Mr.
Bronson. And of course I'm a surveyor. Why the hell else would I have a theodolite?
I don't know. Hobby, maybe?
Yeah, right. What brings you here, anyway?
I'm searching for an ancient Mayan artifact.
What is it? Some kind of jewel?
No, it's obsidian. A black stone with supposedly mystic powers.
You're nuts.
absurd with your ponytail.
Look at this. An article about a total eclipse of the sun.
Oh, yeah? Listen, I don't want to be rude, but it just comes naturally. I really don't care. Say, was that kid giving you trouble?
The Fisher boy? No, he was very polite.
Ha! He's a juvenile delinquent. I suppose he told you I was a crook.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he did, now you mention it.
One of these days, that kid's gonna have a boating accident. Even if I have to hold his head under myself.
Well, I don't like the sound of you at all. You keep away from the kid, pal. I'll bust your jaw.
This is similar to the stone I'm looking for.
What makes you think you'll find it here?
Because when the stones were stolen in the 17th century...
Hold it! The stones have been lost for 300 years?
Approximately.
And you're hoping to find them again? You're nuts. And why here?
A wise old Indian shaman told me he saw the stones in a vision.
Ha ha. That's rich. Listen, I got work to do, okay?
Okay. Tell me about your...
What are you doing with the theodolite?
Surveying the old house. I got great plans for this place.
Oh, yeah?
You bet. Take a look around. What do you see?
Paradise.
I see opportunity. This place is ripe for development.
I like it just the way it is.
And that's where we differ. You see, Mr. Stobart, I'm what you might call a man of vision. I see a great future for Ketch's Landing, and it all starts here, with that house.
Yeah. I disagree.
How do you survey a house like that?
I've put a target reflector on the end of one of the flagpoles up there on the house. I sight on it from various locations through the theodolite, record the angles along the baseline, and triangulate them to give me the exact position of the target. Understand?
Why the end of the flagpole? Wouldn't it have been better on a corner of a wall or something?
Are you a surveyor?
No, my degree's in law.
Then shut up.
Can I take a look at your plans?
No way! What interest would they be to you, anyhow?
I've always had a secret desire to be a surveyor.
You have?
Sure. I mean, you surveyors are just like the great explorers, aren't you? Henry the Navigator, Vasco da Gama, Chris Columbus. Maybe you don't sail uncharted seas or discover new continents, but you're okay in my book.
Horse shit. You just stay away from those plans, you hear?
Tell me about the two old ladies.
Who? The Ketch sisters. One of them's crazy as a coot, and the other will turn you to stone if you're not careful.
Catch you later, Bronson.
Well, let's wait for this idiot to look back through his little toy, his theodolite, and we'll try and sneak a look at these plans. In the meantime, let's just take a gander over this way, yeah. So we can go up to the house, but... yeah, there we go. Look through that. And while he's looking through that, we're going to take a look at these papers.
I just had to sneak a look at those plans.
Or not.
Hey, get up.
Okay.
He had to finish his little monologue there. Oh well, we'll come back later and take a gander at them. For now, we'll go up to the old Ketch house and meet these women.
A cute little putty tat. Actually, no. It was a mangy old flea bag. It was busily torturing a red ball. Hi, Puss. Want to play? Hey, cat. Watch where you're putting those claws. Two old ladies were sitting outside the house, enjoying afternoon tea. Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stobart. Would you care for tea?
No, thank you, ma'am. I don't like tea. Is that your cat?
Yes, it is. That's Ruddles. Do you like cats, Mr. Stobart?
You bet. Specially spit roast. I've been talking to Rio, the little fisher boy.
I'll thank you not to mention that little wretch in my presence.
Dirty little whelk. Nasty fishy boy.
That will do, Mina.
Nasty fishy boy.
I gather you don't have much time for the little boy.
That child is a delinquent, Mr. Stobart.
Yeah, well, he's only, what, 11, maybe?
A knave with one hand on the tots.
Right.
What is it about Rio that you don't like, Miss Frost?
Well, once upon a time, he and Emily...
Be quiet this instant, Mina.
Who's Emily?
What can you tell me about Emily?
Emily? What business can she be of yours?
Her parents were killed in a typhoon.
We, as her only living relatives, took it upon ourselves to raise the child.
That's good to know Charity isn't dead.
Oh, but she is. Washed overboard in the typhoon.
Mr. Stobart wasn't talking about Emily's mother. He was being sarcastic.
What else can you tell me about Emily?
How dare you pry into our family in this way? I refuse to answer any more of your impertinent questions.
Oh, well, I was going to ask about the history of the place.
Can you tell me anything about Captain Ketch?
More than you can tell me about your great-great-great-great-grandfather, no doubt.
You're his descendants?
Certainly. Captain Ketch was born in Dorset, England, in the reign of King Henry VIII. His family were undistinguished farmers, but young Frederick Ketch decided to go to sea.
We have plenty of seamen in our family, Mr. Stobart.
Are you interested in history, Mr. Stobart?
Absolutely.
Yes, I am. Is it true Frederick Ketch was a pirate?
Frederick Ketch was emphatically not a pirate.
They hanged him, you know, down there on the beach in front of his family. Didn't bother with a trial, just whipped him out from his breakfast table and hoisted him up in chains.
Well, if he wasn't a pirate, what did they hang him for?
Envy. Pure, green-eyed envy. He had been a successful privateer, you see, and had accumulated great wealth.
As rich as a mink in a paddock.
Shut up, Mina.
Yes, Frost.
The small-minded governor and his lackeys wanted his money, trumped up some ridiculous charge about breaking the conditions of his letter of marque, and hanged him like a common thief. The blackguards!
Oh dear.
Letter of marque?
The document that permitted him to engage and destroy the enemies of the crown. The difference between a lawful privateer and a pirate.
Yoo-hoo! Sorry, Frost.
Well, why didn't Ketch just say, take a hike, guys, I've got a pirating license?
Frederick Ketch was not a pirate.
But he did show them his letter of marque.
But they destroyed it and hanged him anyway.
What more can you tell me about Ketch?
You were telling me about Captain Ketch. Do go on.
Oh, yes. He sailed under Hawkins.
Jim Hawkins?
John Hawkins, one of the great traders of the Elizabethan age. In 1568, Frederick Ketch was a young man serving aboard the Jesus, Hawkins' flagship. They sailed from England to Africa and across the wide Atlantic to these islands. Ketch was never to see the shores of England again.
How come Ketch never made it home?
Because the Spaniards sank the Jesus in an act of treachery.
Christ.
You said Hawkins' fleet traded between Africa and the Indies. What was it they were trading?
Black men with no shirts.
You have to understand, Mr. Stobart, that this was the 16th century.
But that doesn't alter the fact that Hawkins and Ketch were slavers and pirates.
Would it surprise you to learn that Hawkins was also a devoutly religious man?
He transported slaves in a ship named after Jesus Christ. In my book, that makes him a hypocrite.
Well, not really. Slavery was okay in the Bible, George.
What happened to Ketch? Was he killed?
Oh, no. He got away and returned to this island, to this very house.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum.
So we got that up there.
The flagpole had a reflective target on the end for Bronson to use as a reference point.
Let's grab this ladder.
The ladder extended easily. It was a flagpole, one of a pair.
Do we have anything to put on the flagpole? Yeah, how about a new flag, ladies?
I couldn't reach it.
So, go up the fucking ladder.
You there? What are you doing?
Pardon me, ladies. I was just going to climb your ladder. I'm helping Bronson.
Oh, you're not like him, are you? He's very polite, isn't he, Frost? And he has dimples when he smiles.
Those aren't dimples, they're pits. When he smiles, you can see right through his face. Fucking two-faced liar.
It was a closed window. It was locked.
Oh, blast.
The house is closed.
How come?
It is undergoing refurbishment.
Oh, of course. This must be the place Bronson's surveying.
The intention is to prepare the museum for the new century.
The Frederick Ketch Memorial Museum. It would look nice in neon.
A museum for a pirate? There was a stony silence.
As I have already told you, sir, he was not a pirate. It's precisely this sort of vile misrepresentation that Mr. Bronson is seeking to rebalance.
Oh? How?
Mr. Bronson has kindly agreed to undertake the museum's refurbishment at a very reasonable price. He understands the importance of a sense of history.
Funny. That's not the impression I got of Bronson at all.
He also understands spherical geometry.
Mina?
Well, he does.
Listen, ma'am. I came a long way to visit this place.
If we make an exception in your case, everyone will want to get in.
Pardon me, but I didn't exactly have to fight my way through the crowds.
You're the second visitor we've had today.
No, I'm sorry, but it's impossible.
Oh, shit. Over here, we've got a
Any
tree.
reason to climb the tree?
We don't want to climb the tree, George. Let's talk to the cat.
I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws.
Okay. Back down to the beach we go. Back to Rio.
Tell me about your friend Emily.
Why are you so interested in Emily Ketch?
Emily Ketch? A descendant of Captain Ketch, the pirate?
Yeah,
What, doesn't bother you?
why should it? We don't responsible for our ancestors.
It's very wise.
Will you help me get those plans?
I don't want to go nowhere near that man. He promised to draw me when he found the fish I left in his sleeping bag.
I think Bronson is trying to cheat those sweet, vulnerable old ladies.
That's a little unfair, isn't it?
Okay, he's trying to cheat those seriously demented, poisonous old ladies.
You have to admire his acumen.
How come the old ladies closed the museum?
It's Bronson's doing. Him have the plans for redeveloping the museum. Oh, I know all about Mr. Bronson's plans.
Okay. So next we want to come back over here. We'll talk to Bronson some more again, and then we want to go back to that cat.
I had no more to talk to him about.
Okay, he's got nothing more to say, so yeah, we want to go back to the cat. And what we want to do is go into our bag and use the dart on the cat.
It would have been pretty cool to drug the cat, but I didn't have the heart. And besides which, those sisters would kill me.
Okay, we don't want to drug the cat. Well, we didn't want to drug the cat anyways. But from what I recall... Unless it's up there somewhere. Let's try going up the ladder again. What are you doing?
Down.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk to the Banshee twins.
You're really fond of that cat, aren't you?
He is our companion and our solace.
I thought about catnapping the little monster until they let me in, but it wasn't my style. Maybe there was some other way I could use their affection for the cat to get me into the house. Okay, it was time for diversionary tactics. I thought I saw a little girl down on the beach.
You must be mistaken.
He must be mistaken. Mustn't he, Frost?
I'm sure I'm not. A little girl and that young fisher boy.
What? It's not possible. What were they doing?
Oh, the kinds of things that all little boys and girls get up to at their age.
When I was a little girl, we used to play cows and milkmaids.
Oh
Woe
dear.
betide you if you're lying to us, Mr. Stobart. Heaven help you.
Okay, go and shift away.
With a creak of ancient corsetry, the sisters sailed majestically over the distant horizon.
Okay. Now we should be able to ascend the ladder now they're gone.
I didn't have a flag on me, so the flagpole would have to stay bare. Just my luck. I'd struck out again. The windows were all locked.
Blast. Well, we don't have a flag, but we do have punt hairs. Let's adorn this fine establishment.
Maybe in my high school days, but not now.
Oh, come on, George.
I couldn't reach the flagpole, and a bush stopped me from moving the ladder across.
What we do want is to actually use the panties on this tree.
I couldn't think of any reason to climb the tree.
We don't want to
A
climb
large
the tree.
stood beside the house, with a suggestive U formed by the branches.
Exactly. Oh, come on.
I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws.
Okay, maybe we can sneak into the building now. Maybe that's what I gotta do.
It was locked.
Oh, blast. Was there anything further along then? It was locked. Can we pick the lock? Oh no, that's what we can do. I remember what I got to do now. We'll come down here. Back to Rio. Where are you going, George? Over there. And what we want to do is offer Rio our tequila worm.
Did you see the weird sisters come by here?
Did I? They look madder than usual, so I hide until they're gone by.
Just as well. They thought you were playing with Emily. Boy, were they steamed.
Emily, you're madder than them. What you've got there?
I didn't think the kid would be interested in that.
Oh, fuck off.
Can you let me have a fish, kid?
I thought you say you don't like fish.
It's not for me. It's a present.
For the old ladies? Well, it makes a change from flowers and candy.
No, it's for their cat.
Okay. What do I get out of it?
I can pay you. I've got Quaramontian dollars, French francs, and traveler's checks.
You must be joking. The nearest bank is 3 islands away.
What about some panties?
Will you give me a fish if I give you these, Rio, are these ugly, tasteless nylon panties worth a fish?
No, man.
Yeah, have the tequila worm.
Is this worm worth a fish?
Could be good bait. How did it die?
I think it drowned in tequila.
Just like my Uncle Gabriel. Yeah, I'll have that. Okay, I'll get you a fish. It might take a while, though.
So he's gonna fish for a little bit.
There was nothing else I wanted to ask the boy.
And now he's fishing. We can move down this way. Let's check the net again.
I didn't want to...
Oh, I didn't want to look through there. Okay, let's talk to Bronson. Oi, shithead!
Did you see the sisters go by?
Yeah, they wanted to string that Fisher brat up. Of course, I told them where to find him.
A fink as well as a creep. Nice.
But he'd managed to vanish somehow.
Catch you later, Bronson.
Okay, back up here we go.
The flagpole had a reflective target on the end for Bronson to use as a reference point. I couldn't reach the flagpole, and a bush stopped me from moving the ladder across.
Okay, go over to the tree. Take the panties and pop them on the tree. Oh, come on.
I couldn't think of any...
Okay, let's talk to the cat again then.
I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws. No, that's wrong. It would have been pretty cool to drug the cat, but I didn't have the heart. And besides which, those sisters would kill me.
Blast. Okay, maybe Rio's caught that fish for me now.
I didn't want a fishing net. I didn't know the first thing about sailing a dinghy.
Any luck, Rio?
No luck with a fish?
No, man. They don't want bite. That's 'cause they know there's a storm brewing.
Storm? I don't think so.
Hey, I caught a bite.
You have?
It's a big one. A real big one.
Reel him in, Rio. Jeez, that must be a whale or something.
Nope, there we go.
Rustiest whale I ever see.
Rustiest way.
I still need a fish, Rio.
Okay, make me try again.
Maybe you better change your bait.
Okay, so now we can grab this bicycle.
The only serviceable part of the bicycle's wreck was a rubber inner tube. You just never know when you're going to need stuff like that.
Okay, so it seems that I was misremembering. Oh, look, he's finally got us a fish.
There's a fish, my man.
I can't put it in my pocket while it's flapping about like that.
No problem.
Donk. Thank you, Rio. Yes, it seems that I was misremembering what I had to do here. You see, I thought I'd use the panties as a sling, but it's not the panties, it's the inner tube of that bicycle. Now, we give the cat the fish to get the bowl.
Okay, cat. You don't deserve this, but here's a little fish. The little monster ate the fish, but never strayed far from the ball. I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws.
Okay, so we want to grab the inner tube and pop it on this tree. Like so. We preferably want the bowl, but maybe we can fire the stone. No? Okay, maybe now we can use the dart.
I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws.
No, not the cat's claws, the dart!
It would have been pretty cool to drug the... but
Okay, maybe we can go up the ladder now. The thing is, I remember there's something to do about a feather. I was pretty sure we had to, like... I don't know, maybe we can use the inner tube on that fucking flagpole. Because I remember dangling like a feather or something in front of the cat and it shreds it. And then we give that to Rio and he uses it on his fishing rod. Or something like that. And then we use the inner tube and the bowl to knock that fucking reflector off the pole. Okay. Let's try the inner tube on the pole.
maybe it wasn't such a good idea after all. Nah.
Okay, climb down the ladder. And grab the end of the inner tube. No?
I couldn't reach it.
So go up the ladder. Ah!
I didn't have a flag on me, so the flagpole would have to stay bare.
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't such a good idea.
Grab the fucking thing. Maybe we can dangle the tube in front of the cat.
I could have loaded the cat into the inner tube and launched it out to sea. Catapult. Get it? Oh, Stobart, you kill me sometimes.
Or do we?
Nope.
Okay, no. Well, feck. Let's talk to this dickhead again. If at all possible.
I had no more to talk to him about.
No, of course not. So we got that net there. Come back this way. Rio's got another fish.
There's a fish, my man.
Well, it seems like they're biting now, at least. So, back up here, back to the cat, with another fish that doesn't look anywhere near as...
Here's another little fish.
doesn't look any bigger than the last. Come on, grab the bowl while it's busy.
The little monster ate the fish, but never strayed far from the ball.
Okay, let's go back to Rio for another fish. Probably the best day fishing he's ever had, and we're taking all his fish.
There's a fish, my man.
Okay, let's go back this way. Can we put the fish in the net?
I didn't want a fishing net.
Okay, no. So I think what we do want is to...
No, I had to think of something else.
Panties
No,
and fish?
that-
Okay, maybe we can fire the fish with the inner tube. Fire in the hole!
I doubted I had Rio's grasp of piscine aerodynamics. There had to be a better projectile than a dead fish.
Yeah, the cat's got it. Okay. Okay. Back up the ladder we go. Use the inner tube. Use the fish.
I don't think so.
The fish on the end of the inner tube.
I'd have to do that from the ground.
Fantastic. Fish on the end of the inner tube. There we go.
That should get the old cat dancing. I just hoped it didn't give itself a cardiac.
Now we can grab that bowl. Now we can grab the fish.
I didn't want to risk the wrath of that vicious animal by putting my hand within striking distance of those claws.
Okay, go up the rope. Or the ladder. Fucking rope. Grab the inner tube. Toss the cat the fish. There we go. Fantastic. So why do I remember a feather and the fucking cat? Senior moment, probably. Okay, so now we fire the ball.
I put the ball in the catapult. Took aim. Yes! Okay, so it was a lucky shot, but I'd knocked the theodolite target clean off the end of the flagpole.
And now Bronson's scratching his head. What the fuck happened to the target? And he's going to come up.
What the hell's going on here?
Hi, Bronson. Nice to see you, too.
You again. Have you been screwing around with my theodolite target? Where is it? I had to climb out of the window to put that one on. Damn it, I'm gonna have to go through all that again.
Not this time. The house is locked up and the sisters aren't here.
Hell's teeth! I'll have to put the spare target on the other flagpole. A whole morning's work wasted. I'm gonna fix all this and then I'm gonna fix you, you hear?
Yeah? Fine. I'll be waiting.
Bring it on, Bronson. Now, while you're busy, I don't suppose you have a coffee break up there.
What you doing, Bronson? Just hanging around?
I'm gonna kill you for this, Stobart! Get me down from here!
What, so you can kill me? Gee, you talked me out of it, Bronson. I felt a little guilty about leaving Bronson up there, but not much, obviously.
Now we'll take the marker.
The marker was a bright, shiny thing, and I have a weakness for bright, shiny things.
And I think we'll
It wasn't going to be much use without the theodolite, though.
go over there
The
and...
novelty value of having an inner tube in my pocket had worn off. I left it there.
Really? That's more useful than half the shit you're carrying around. Okay. Well, I think we'll leave that here for now. This has been Jiggly-Gut with Broken Sword, the Smoking Mirror Remastered Edition. Join me next time and we shall snoop around Bronson's tent while he's busy hanging about. See you next time. Peace out. Au revoir. Konnichiwa. Sayonara. Konnichiwa is hello. Goodbye.